Fossil Evidence of Evolution Reading and Tip, Part 2. Evidence of Common Ancestry. Homologies. The fossil record is not the only evidence that supports the common ancestry of organisms. Homologies, or similarities in characteristics between two organisms because they originated from a common ancestor, also support the common ancestry of organisms. A homologous structure is something that is similar in position, structure, or evolutionary origin. Embryonic and developmental homologies. Comparison of the embryological development of different species also reveals similarities that show relationships not evident in the fully formed anatomy. Species with similar origins also show similar embryonic development patterns. We can learn a lot about a species by studying the embryo and the patterns of development. For example, certain snake embryos have small buds that look like limbs. The buds disappear in later developmental stages. This suggests that snakes evolved from an ancestor with limbs. Anatomical homologies. Species with common origins, ergo birds, reptiles, and mammals, all show similar patterns of anatomy, such as those in the bones of the forelimbs. Anatomical homologies are similar anatomical structures that exist between species and can be identified as a link to a common ancestor. Mammals share certain traits such as breathing air, having hair or fur, and producing milk for their young. All mammals show similar patterns of bone structures in their forelimbs. Although the function of each is different, this diagram shows similarities in the anatomical structure of forelimbs in mammals, bats and humans, birds, the penguin, and reptiles, the alligator. Note, the geologic timescale on the next page shows the fossil evidence of evolution for each major time division of Earth's history. Fossils, evidence of origins. The column on the left shows the millions of years ago. The middle section is the geologic timescale, the era and period. The last shows the fossil records. You'll see dinosaurs, the first reptiles, etc. Look at the image below of the elephant and the woolly mammoth. Do you think the elephant is a direct descendant of the woolly mammoth? How does evolution occur? According to the theory of evolution, changes in species occur due to natural selection, reproduction, and environmental conditions. Charles Darwin proposed the theory of evolution by natural selection in 1859, which suggests that all creatures descended from common ancestors. His theory contended that organisms evolved through natural selection, a gradual process by which subsequent generations of organisms develop characteristics that help them survive in their surrounding conditions through mutations. Mutations that benefit an organism are passed on to subsequent generations. However, it is important to note that natural selection is not a deliberate process. Organisms do not choose which traits to pass on to their offspring. It is a natural process that favors certain traits in a particular environment. Organisms that do not have these favorable characteristics will gradually decrease in number, and the gene pool of the population will change. As Darwin's theory was accepted, so too was the theory of gradualism. This is the idea that evolution occurs gradually. Changes or adaptations appear slowly and sequentially over time. Usually, mutations are either harmful or neutral. In rare instances, a mutation proves beneficial to an organism. If so, it will occur more in the next generation and spread throughout the population. In this way, natural selection influences the evolutionary process, keeping and adding up the beneficial mutations and eliminating the harmful ones. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Charles Darwin, 1859. Please use the reading to complete the tip chart on the next page. Tip: term, information, picture. Homologies. Homologous structures. Embryonic development homologies. Anatomical homologies. Geologic timescale.